Anthony here, and it's high time I've told the corn dog story. Many people have heard the corn dog story, yet I've yet to document it in a YouTube video, so here goes. Years ago, as an 18-year-old in high school, one of the biggest albums, if you graduated in '85, was Van Halen's 1984 album. So, to support that tour, they came to Biloxi again, and I went to go see them for my third time with some friends. This time I was driving, and both times I'd seen Van Halen before, I always stood up in front of Eddie Van Halen. Well, this time I decided, you know what? Jump's a big hit. There's going to be a ton of people there, and if I stand up, I might get crushed. So I sat down, and we got there early and got in right when the doors open at 6 p.m. Show starts at 8. So I sat down at about a 45-degree angle from the stage, about 50 feet away. And since we got there so early, we were like the front row of like the 4 steps down that led to the floor. And it's all general admission, but we were right by these steps. So basically, like at knee level, out is just a sea of heads. So I'm about a half a story up. Well, during the break between the opening act and Van Halen, someone goes, "Look out!" And you catch a blur out of your corner of your eye, and someone throws a corn dog, and it hits that bar. So I didn't explain that. Like in the front row, there's like these metal bars to keep you from falling onto the people in front of you if you're the front row. So you're about 4 or 5 feet up above everybody with these bars. So the corn dog hits this bars and just lands right between my feet. And whoever this jackass was that threw it had purposefully bought it to throw, because he injected, you remember the cylindrical mustard and ketchup dispensers with the, well, not dispensers, they're bottles with the conical tip? Well, this dude had injected that conical tip in this corn dog, and it now is just like this heinous meat Twinkie with mustard and ketchup just lubricating it on the stick. And I don't know how the stick didn't fall off, but it's what I figured out. I was like, hey, this is like a pole arm. Remember pole arm, simple machine from science that the cavemen used to make a spear? They could throw a spear harder with that stick. Well, this was sort of like that, but it was like a meat arm, pole meat. I don't know what you call it. Anyway, finally the lights go down and the announcer comes out, "Ladies and gentlemen, Van Halen," and the first chord goes down and the daylighters come up and the whole place is lit up, and I just let that corn dog sling, and it was spinning around so fast it just looked like Saturn, and stuff was flying off of it. And you know, anyone that went over, if you were within that glue, that mustard ketchup ring of Saturn splat, you're hit. And then right as the light started to change to the colored kind of music lights, whatever, the corn dog started to lose altitude, and it turned, and I lost it. And I was like, wow, and my friend's dying laughing. He's like, I can't believe you did that. And then, you know, you forget. And by the way, if that was you, I know that was over 20 years ago, but man, I'm sorry. Unless you're that dude that used to dress like David Lee Roth, or try to dress like David Lee Roth, because he just seemed like a dick. And he kind of had this air of, anyway, what a dork. So if it hit you, fucking good shot. So when we get back to the car and we're driving home, I tell my friend Bill that story, and Bill's like, yeah. And like, so some dude was all like, yay, Van Halen, wow. And still to this day, I don't know who it hit. And it's almost like, it brings up that whole Doctor Who kind of time travel thing, because what if I went back in time and threw it to myself? Because who else would do that? I like throw food. I think it's funny. Everyone that knows me knows I'll do it occasionally. Like if you ever see me with a dozen donuts, you know it ain't because I'm going to eat them. And they're all going to be jelly because they're heavy and they splatter. But I have a new show, how to throw food. But like Bill's, like, yeah, man, it hit him, or maybe it launched off his head and broke apart into a bunch of pieces. And then that's cool, because that's like splash damage. It got a bunch. I just hope nothing. I didn't throw the stick, but I hope it didn't mess anybody's eye up, or, you know, if it left a little mark or something, that doesn't bother me too much, because that'll go away. But as long as it didn't permanently hurt anybody or damage an eye, but I hope it got like an 80s hair. Just not, remember Big 80? Because it was the 80s. It was 85 was that show. But yeah, that whole day was fun. I remember my friends making fun of me for eating 5 hamburgers at once. But it's like, when you're just that stoned, I don't know, I just get really logical. And we walked into this McDonald's, and I said, yeah, I want 5 hamburgers, and they all laughed. But they were ordering like drinks and fries and all the other bullshit. And then at the end of the meal, they're like, wow, you had like the best meal. I was like, duh. You know, so, I don't know. Of course, I don't even eat McDonald's anymore, because apparently I'm a vegan. But, and I am. Tomorrow's going to be 180 days. So I think it's appropriate to rehash the corn dog story. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you like these funny stories, please subscribe. Don't forget to give me the old thumbs up, which you should do just anyway. But yeah, we'll keep it up. And yeah, I know I don't really look like a vegan yet. It's only been a half a year, you fucks. That's why I'm sticking with it, to find out what happens in like 2 or 3 years. If in 5 years I still look like this, well, then the whole vegan thing is probably wrong. But I've seen the results so far, and I'm stoked. Thanks for watching.
There's a week outside yourself.